Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm from Belmore. It's hard to start. I was always a really happy kid. I was raised in a Roman Catholic church, but never paid much mind to it, really. It was more of a chore than anything else, really. It was not central to my life. It was not foundational to my life. And that is really just how I always perceived it as a child. I did not have a heart for God at that point. I really just thought that I was the master of my own destiny. And that worked for a while, and I was kind of checking off the boxes of what I felt my family and what society wanted from me. I was a pretty good student. I was a good dancer. I loved to draw. Like I really did enjoy life. I don't remember exactly when the table started to turn, and I started valuing things that were not fruitful. I was becoming more and more selfish, and things started to spiral out of control in my 20s. All I really cared about was myself, and I thought, as long as I'm graduating from school and getting a job and getting a master's degree, you can't touch me and you can't say anything to me because look at everything that I'm doing. And I kind of rolled with that attitude for a little while, and had convinced myself that it was working until it wasn't working anymore, and everything started falling apart internally and externally. I was destroying my body. I was not taking proper care of myself. I was drinking every single day. I was blacking out. I would disappear for lengths at a time, sometimes days at a time. I was a nightmare. I was a literal nightmare, and it wasn't until all of the damage started invading my internal life that I even considered it being a problem. I started noticing that something was wrong, but I refused to attribute it to the way that I was living, and I started being diagnosed with all these mental health issues, like one after another, and just being compounded with different drugs and more drugs, and I was drinking on top of them, and doing recreational drugs on top of that. And there was a point in time where I was suffering from anxiety attacks, depression, insomnia. These are all things that I was diagnosed with. ADHD, to the point where I was diagnosed manic bipolar, what else? Sleep paralysis, and I was being medicated for all of it. All of it. And nothing was getting better. I reached a point, I had experienced some external consequences, and the only way I knew how to deal with them was just to keep drinking and taking these pills. And it's funny too, and as I look back and I put all the pieces together, I can see all of these invitations from God through other people that I knew to come find Him. And for years I just was covering my ears and being like, no, I want nothing to do with you. I don't think you want anything to do with me. I don't think I'm worthy. And I had this thought come to me, and I know it came to me from God, because I had never thought that maybe this isn't the right type of help for you. That maybe these pills aren't gonna fix you, and maybe there's a way out. I was just so in the hole that I couldn't even listen to that voice. I didn't know what to do, and that went on for a while. I literally could not draw a sober breath. I didn't have a job. I had resigned from my job. I had no relationships, no friendships. My parents were worried sick, and I was literally living to drink. After that, I was shipped upstate to a treatment facility, and I was given this idea that I thought would be sufficient. I thought it was going to be enough to make me okay. And that idea was that I needed to rely on a power greater than myself in order to be all right. Over the years, I guess I had wanted to investigate that concept. I knew there was something wrong with me. I knew I needed a way out, but I didn't know how to find this power. I had no idea. I was guided, you know, to do certain things and to pray if I didn't believe it, and I could make God whoever I wanted him to be, and he could just be a spirit of the universe, and it could just be whatever I wanted it to be. But I've always been a relentless human being. I like to be right, and I didn't feel like it was right. I felt like it was like a shade of the truth. Because of a good friend of mine who was truly walking out her Christian faith 10 years prior, that there was something different about her, and that she was the person that I needed to call. She had, you know, tried to share the gospel with me a couple times, and I was like 19 and like, no thank you, please go away, I'm living my life the way I want to live it. You know, even after all the years that I had run from her and run from God, as soon as I was ready, she was like, okay, let's go. You know, but it was difficult. She lives in DC, I live here, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. There's so many different types of churches. I was like, I think, you know, Jesus is the answer, but I don't know where to find him. I don't know where he is. I thought I had to go to like a specific spot. People started being put in my path that just put me where I needed to go. Calming sound of heaven, I've like been able to not just feel that internally, but allow it to like spill out of me and overflow out of me in a way that's like supported and encouraged here. Like the deliverance from the insanity that was going on in my mind, to be somebody who needed 6 medications and a bottle of vodka to get through the day, to be of completely sound mind, no medication, no alcohol, no nothing, and free, not bound, not thinking about it all the time. To be in a place that allows me to let that gratitude just flow out of me is just an answer to prayer. You know, maybe help lead people who are in that limbo state of like, who is this God that saved my life? Help lead them in a direction the way my friend did for me is what, you know, what I'm most excited about.